absolute stud. Torn up.
No, that's not politically incorrect. That's just stating fact.
And Jeff Evans, you're absolutely correct about that. Action about to resume here in the Gil Bishop Sports Center. 20 minutes of truth left in this one. Renegades up 31-25. And Lawrence Bam Moore prepares to inbound the basketball to the point guard, Jameek Riviere. Jeff, what do the Renegades need to do here at the start of the second half to get things really going?
Well, they're playing well enough, but if you start hitting your 3-point shots, that's going to make a big difference.
That it is.
That good penetration by Jameek there, and then feeds DeAndre inside. So what do you do if you're Santa Monica? Well, there's a lot of on the ball there, but again, bodies, and he's so much taller, so foul and 2 free throws. Again, BC is still looking for its first free throw make of the evening. This is only their 3rd attempt of the game.
DeAndre Dixon snapping one through right there.
He missed his 2 attempts in the first half, so 1 of 3 now going into this toss.
Well, and the Renegades up by 8 points here in the second half of action, 33-25. Michael Garcia Jr., the 6'6 guard, he moves like a much smaller man. He's bouncing around, head faking like he was going to pull up the tray, but nothing doing. Brandon Crawford inside, back outside, and a nice little inside-out pass, but guess who rebounded the basketball there? Yeah,
they've missed several layups tonight.
Bam Moore with a crossover and a beautiful layup. Renegades up 35-25. It's a 10-point lead in the second half.
That's the biggest lead of the game thus far for Bakersfield. They were up 8 in the first half as well, and then they're off to a 4-0 start to the second half here. That block shot by DeAndre there was a very nice play. And he kept the ball in bounds instead of swatting it out of bounds, so Bakersfield gets the ball. Got a hand check call that time on Santa Monica guard Michael Garcia.
And Garcia Jr. there pleading with his coach, trying to let him know that there's no reason to pull him out of the game. I just got one, he says. Jameek Riviere fooling around on the baseline, comes back inside. He's at the top of the key, backing it off toward midcourt, letting folks get into position. Sky C, number 30 on the court for the Renegades. The inside pass to DeAndre Dixon. Dixon kind of giving it some thought. He backs towards the hoop, kicks back out to Riviere. And
you got DeAndre for a 3-second violation. Dixon fed outside to Velasquez, thought he was going to take the shot, and he broke to the basket to try to get an offensive rebounding position, and then Velasquez dished it back to Jameek, and that's 3 seconds.
Santa Monica basketball. Brandon Baker making his way down the court. A lot of Renegade athletes in attendance tonight, sticking around to watch their colleagues. And the tip-in is not good for Santa Monica. And again, I think we'll attribute that to the DeAndre Dixon effect. Jameek Riviere driving all the way down the court. The kick out, and Bam Moore makes it rain. Renegades up by 13 with about 18 minutes to go in this basketball game. And the Renegades definitely coming out of the chute hot in the second half, Jeff Evans. Santa Monica calling a timeout. Coach Hughes, he's having a good time.
Well, that's a quick 7 points here, and biggest lead of the game at 13 now for the Renegades. And, good timeout there. I think a good timeout for Santa Monica to try to, they've missed 2 layups on the last layup and a nice tip in. I don't know, the ball hung on the rim and fell out. And, again, it just quick, that's a 5-point swing. They got 2, and then Bakersfield Moore hit a 3 on the other end just a few seconds later.
Well, and these are some of the things that make the Renegades dangerous. I mean, it's not necessarily one of the best players in the state, DeAndre Dixon. It's Bam Moore hitting that three-pointer right there. And, of course, DeAndre has been an absolute force under the boards, pulling down balls left and right. But it's the secondary and tertiary pieces for the Renegades that have made them absolutely devastating this season. Now, we haven't even seen Pendleton or Velasquez hit up to the degree that they can yet. But when they do, that lead could get much more difficult to to climb for Santa Monica.
Well, no coincidence that the ball's been kind of a quick pace first couple minutes of the second half here, and that's when Bakersfield's had its best separation of the game, and
they like it hot. They like it hot in the skillet, if you will. They like that butter to jump around a bit.
Well, DeAndre had 14 rebounds in the first half, and he's got at least a couple here, so he's closing in on 20 rebounds. At the way that the current pace he's going, I don't think there's any question he's going to get that.
Well, and the Renegades seem to be tightening the screws down on Santa Monica right now. Baker looking for something here, but he's getting hemmed in by Bam, who's playing great defense. And that's something that Coach Hughes says is the big challenge for this Renegades team is defense. Whoa, Sky C with a vulgar blocked shot right in the face there. Woo-wee! And Jameek Riviere driving the lane. He finds Sky down, and he completes the insult against Santa Monica. He had a beautiful block shot, and then he tips it in there. The Renegades are up by 15 points right now. Ooh, Santa Monica hitting a tray to attempt to cool the jets of the Renegades, but it's still a 12-point lead here with 17 minutes to go in the second half. Bam Moore slowing down a bit. He steps up in Baker's face and says, we'll control the pace of things. Jameek Riviere gets the basketball back. 15 seconds on the shot clock. And Sky C kind of giving a different look for the Renegades right here. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Riviere pulls up. And it clanks, and Baker with the rebound there, and it was a nice one. He pulled it down over two much bigger men. And now he's dribbling around. He's drawing a double team. He's driving. He puts it up. DeAndre with another rebound. Jeff Evans, he's got to be getting close to 20 at this point. Jameek Riviere. Coast to coast, and that ain't no boast. Hey, that's what he does, Jeff.
Yeah, if he does.
Jameek Riviere making it a 14-point basketball game.
Who's going to pick up that foul? That is on Jameek. That's his third now. That's a big foul.
That's a thoughtful foul, isn't it? Now,
that's driving, and that was Aaron Vaughn, the point guard for Santa Monica, drove to the basket, and that's a big one. That's anytime you have three fouls, one more and you're sitting. So
that's food for thought. Right now, though, old buckshot.
Jamaica's pretty sharp. He's pretty good at staying, within himself and not getting himself in that situation.
Yes, Sky C with the rebound, kicks it out to Velasquez.
Missed both those free throws to get a chance to get a little closer. Double trapping the ball now. Oh, nice pass.
Beautiful pass by Bam. And you don't leave Velasquez open because he does that.
In the first half, they would double team, and he was open, and he missed some shots. That one he hit.
That time he made him absolutely pay for it, and that's another DeAndre factor. He draws the coverage, lets Velasquez shoot, and all of a sudden the Renegades are up by 17 points.
Well, Smiley's hit 2 threes in a row for Santa Monica.
Smiley not giving up here. Ooh. Don't know who that's
going to be a foul on Santa Monica. It's going to be a foul on Vaughn, the point guard, and it's a non-shooting foul. Bakersfield unbound under its own basket.
Bam has this move that I like to call the tomahawk tuck, where he ducks down inside, and he's streaking, and he moves incredibly quickly. He's got the basketball in the crook of his arm, quickly transitions to the other hand and makes the layup. That time he drew the foul. DeAndre making all kinds of noise inside. Dathan Towns on the court. Ooh. DeAndre, oh, goodness.
He got bumped pretty good by number 11. That's Brandon Crawford.
Oh, he ends up at the bottom of the stanchion, and it is not nice to see him holding that left arm almost protectively against his thigh there. Shake it off, DeAndre.
Actually, that was Smiley that fouled him that time. That's Smiley's third.
And Dix there. Dixon really favoring the left hand, and that's not something we want to see there. We'll see how he handles his free throw shooting here.
Well, that's the hand that he injured a few games ago.
Yeah, it is, and it doesn't seem to be a problem there. First free throw.
Well, it's not. That's not a shooting hand. And what's the question to be when he goes up for a rebound later on? And is he going to be able to have strength enough in that hand to totally wrap the rebound up with a lot of Santa Monica hands slapping at the ball and everything.
And Dathan Towns coming out of the game for Sky C. But he makes both the free throws. Now Sky C can move up and down the court incredibly fast. We see him moving down into the post position. Santa Monica uncorking a 3. It doesn't fall, but Santa Monica out of bounds. I bet that's going to be a Renegade ball there.
No, it's going to be a foul on. It's going to be a foul on Lawrence Moore there.
Bammer picking up the foul.
His second foul. He bumped, Adjaboy, the guard, as he was coming in. Then we got faked up.
Sky C. Boy, he could be a long jumper. That was quite a bit of distance he just covered. The kick out to Pendleton in transition. Back to Moore, who fires, and that is a 3-point basket. The Renegades up by 19 with 15 minutes to go in the game. That is the Renegades for you. And Baker with a nice no-look underneath. And he loses the handle on that ball. The kick out to Pendleton, who bounces over to Moore. And it's good.
What a brave, pretty shot there. Vaughn, the point guard, was trying to get there, but all he did was just he bumped Moore, and Moore made a very nice kiss that high off the glass. Very nice ball control, good body control also.
For a guy who goes by the name Bam, that was mighty smooth work. No 3-point play. Sky C putting a nice spin move on his man to try to get into position to grab the, Santa Monica. DeAndre Dixon. Yeah, with the rebound, and I think he drew the foul. Jeff, I sure wish that we had up to the minute statistics, because DeAndre, he has got to be flirting with 20 rebounds at this point.
Well, 21-6 right now is what Bakersfield's outscoring. Keep in mind, they only had 31 points at halftime. They've already scored 21 points, just barely 5 minutes into the second half. So this game has definitely turned, because now this is Bakersfield's style of play, and that's the reason why this suddenly, we're talking about getting some separation.
The pass inside to DeAndre. He's falling out of bounds. They're going to call traveling on him.
Well, he was out of control there, and tried to get rid of the ball, but falling down. The referee figured he probably had to call something. That's a foul on Dixon. Oh, they called a walk beforehand. Again, that's another Dixon intimidation.
It's the stuff that he does that isn't going to show up in the box score, Jeff Evans.
Yeah, that would have been a foul on him, but Brandon Crawford traveled before the contact.
And James Pendleton here. Nice move. And he hides behind a screen named DeAndre Dixon and says, peekaboo, that's 2 points. And 23-point lead now for the Renegades, Jeff Evans. They are pouring it on. Santa
nice
Monica
shot.
Pulling up tough there. And Aaron Vaughn with a nice field goal. And it's just amazing the magnetic field that is around DeAndre Dixon. The things that happen around him, the way players get sucked into his vortex, it's amazing. Bam, drives, finds Sky C outside. Velasquez double teamed, and of course the ball bouncing off a Santa Monica defender, and the Renegades will have it back here. And the word is out about Velasquez, Jeff Evans. I think the rest of the conference knows that he is a sniper. And
all you got to do is look at the stats and to see that. And but again, that was a good play. He was going to get trapped in the corner there. And again, the shot clock is down to 9. So throwing the ball out of bounds off the leg of a Santa Monica player allows the Renegades to kind of reset the offense a little bit. That's off of Velasquez's leg, turnover.
And that's why we call him the smiling assassin, a turnover there, but the Hawaii native is still grinning. He's not angry, as I would be in a similar circumstance. And the Renegades getting the ball back right there. Pendleton, nope. Santa Monica recovers, but Sky C, I don't know if he got a finger on it or what, but he clearly made Baker's job a little more difficult. Bam, driving the kick out to Pendleton. He shoots an unsteady 3. Broussard with a rebound.
Good rebound there.
Wonderful rebound up top to Pendleton.
3-second violation on C, excuse me. It's pronounced like Joe Say, the long-time wrestling coach at Cal State Bakersfield.
Yeah, it's Joe C. Again, much like you and Darrell Evans, don't believe there's a relation there. I could be, what do I know? I could be wrong. Broussard spinning out of that so nicely.
He went so quick he lost the ball.
God, that was filthy. Sky C underneath, he picks up 2. And it is Renegades 56, Santa Monica 33. With 12 minutes left, you would hope that would count as breathing room, but we've seen similar leads collapse, so nothing just yet. DeAndre Dixon getting a breath. And Baker drilling that one. And Santa Monica is going to take a timeout there and see if they can't get some stuff sorted out. Don't know if Dixon is just taking a good health breather or what he's up to.
I think it is. I think, when you're talking about, he looks fine. I think he just needed a little bit of a breather. He's been really going hard this first 8 minutes of the second half. And, you got a nice lead. This is a good time to sit him down for a few minutes, let him get his wind back before you run him back out there. Now that timeout by Santa Monica, I'm quite sure they're with Dixon out of the game now. They're going to maybe try to attack the Renegades. Now this is where Bakersfield does so well because they have such good guard play. I'm wondering if Santa Monica, which again is very athletic and got a lot of quick guards themselves, will implement some kind of a pressing attack here to try to. They're down 20, and so really to get back in the game, they got to trigger a few turnovers and maybe get some fast break or transition baskets. And I'm wondering if out of the break here you might not see a full court press, possibly trapping, just to try to get the Bakersfield out of their offense a little bit. It worked real well, that trapping in the first half. That's got Bakersfield out of sync. But it's been a completely different effort this second half. Bakersfield has really been attacking, and it does look like they're going to go to a full court. Actually, it's Santa Monica ball. It should be Bakersfield ball. Didn't they just hit a three-pointer? I'm a little surprised that, the nice play by Vaughn. He's trying to dupe the officials there, see if he can steal a possession there. But they are definitely pressing.
And Broussard on the court. Jameek Riviera on the court. Bam on the court. But Sky C taking the place of the big man, DeAndre Dixon, right now. A nice behind-the-back move by Velasquez, but he kicks out to Moore, who nails the three. That's a third three-pointer that he has nailed in the second half, and not a second too soon. 23-point lead for the Renegades here with 11 minutes to go in the basketball game. But Santa Monica fires back with one of their own.
I tell you, Bam Moore is just red hot right now.
You could not have put it any better, Jeff Evans.
Okay, Dixon's coming back in now. He's had a breather for a couple minutes, and 23-point lead. Bakersfield's in really good position here.
And Bam says, oh! Bringing the thunder down. Lawrence Moore with a dunk, 61-36 Renegades, but Santa Monica quickly grabs those two back. Lawrence Moore could not get any hotter. The pass outside to J.C. Broussard.
Well, the 25-point lead lasted about 3 seconds, but that is their biggest lead of the game.
And Meek brings it back and one. Look at him grinning. Jameek Riviera heading to the line here, a 63-38 lead for the Renegades with 10 minutes and 37 seconds left in the game.
Bakersfield has scored 32 points in the first 9:30 of the second half after scoring 31 points in the entire 20-minute first half. they've been so hot that they're nearly at the average points Santa Monica is allowing a game, which is 69. They're almost there already. Great play by Broussard. Stolen.
A breakaway a little bit more. Oh, bam, missing the easy lay-in. I think humility told him not to dunk it, but Santa Monica, DeAndre Dixon's back on the court, so you know that means he just sucked that ball right back in. And we'll have to wait to see what official statistician Steve Lynch of Bakersfield College Athletics has to say about these numbers, but I'd be real surprised if DeAndre Dixon does not have 20 rebounds in this basketball game.
Well, I'll tell you what, next time there's a timeout, we'll call down there and see what his count is, because I think we can get their attention, and they can get a live box score.
And a baby hook by DeAndre, but it doesn't fall.
Left-handed. He's a right-handed player. He shot that left-handed.
He shot that with the taped-up wing, in fact, so that's a great point. Oh, James Pendleton running in there to break things up a little bit. Jeff, what goes through your mind when this Renegade team runs up 20-plus point leads against the best teams in the conference?
Well, again, there's no question this is a special group this year, and relish the time, because you don't get these type of teams all the time.
Oh, and Dixon with another board.
That was a nice attempt by Jason Carter, who,
Broussard handing the ball off to Jameek Riviere. He heads down to the wing. Pendleton now with the ball. And the Renegades probably anxious at this point. And Velasquez for three.
No, it's a two. His foot was on the line.
Oh, doggone it. Well, we'll take it anyway. 65-38 Renegades. And if that's a sign that Velasquez is heating up, well, then we're sure to see a three-pointer out of him in no time. Oh, and a really aggressive basket there by Santa Monica. Jordan Starling, the 5'10 freshman guard, just drove. And he's a well-built guy. I mean, that was a Jameek Riviere move, but with power. That's not a guy that you want to stand in front of and let him run into you.
Well, maybe Santa Monica has joined the National Northern Conference Football League with Bakersfield College next year. They've Pasadena and Hancock have left, and Santa Monica, which has been phenomenal in the American Conference, is coming in. He looks like he might be a running back on that team.
He really does. No, he's more Curtis McGregor than basketball player. That's for sure. Jimmy Riviere with the ball heading down the court. And DeAndre Dixon walking in circles down there. The pass is low to Broussard, but Velasquez is out and just off there. Again, having a hard time finding his range from three-point territory, and Broussard sneaking up behind the fullback Jordan Starling. Pardon me, the guard Jordan Starling. And the Renegades holding on to a 25-point lead. Jeff Evans, I think you're absolutely correct when you suggested that us as Renegade fans, we savor this, and we encourage you to come out to the Gil Bishop Sports Center. Of course, the second best thing is hanging out with Jeff Evans and I, or Schoolhouse Zach.
Well, it's a little tough because we're kind of isolated up here, not where the general population who come to the games is. We're up on the second deck of the stadium on the side where there's no seating out, so
that's correct.
Gives us a nice Eagles view of the court without having referees and players and coaches standing in front of us, which is nice.
And speaking of people standing in front of us, the 6'4 Daquan Green stepping in to spell the 5'9 James Pendleton. A little more height on the court for the Renegades right now, and Santa Monica is anxious to put some big points on this board. Jeff, I'll never understand the shoes that don't match. We got a kid for Santa Monica wearing bright green shoes. Their colors are royal blue and black. And Meek with his steal. He drives down the court. Oh, and an uncharacteristic missed layup for Jimmy Greer.
He wanted to pass that off. And
Gallo, and again, the DeAndre factor. He wanted no part of that, Jeff. Meek kicking out to Broussard. Ooh, and the hard foul by the fullback. He forgot that he was not playing in the National Northern Conference. Jeff, what would that mean to BC football if they made that kind of move?
Well, I think Carl Dean, the offensive coordinator, would really like that kind of a move by his running back.
Oh no, I think he would too. I think you're correct. J.C. Broussard heading to the free throw line. He's going to have two. And again, the Renegades sitting on a 25-point lead right now. And Broussard would like them to hold on to that 25-point lead just a little bit longer.
Probably wants to add to it, make it 27.
No, and it's not to be right now. Oh, it looks like Coach Hughes has lost the tie and the jacket. I hope the shirt isn't next to go.
Well, you could thrill a lot of the female fans here if he does that.
Well, Coach Hughes is got to be north of 40, let's say, but he is fit as a fiddle.
I didn't know fiddles could get fit.
Oh, Jeff, I'll tell you what, fiddles do P90X. You wouldn't believe it. Santa Monica trying to break in there, the basketball caught in traffic. The Renegades playing fierce defense despite sitting on a 25-point lead. Broussard knows he missed those. We're inside of 10 seconds on the shot clock, and the fullback that is playing guard, trying to drive and make something happen. Santa Monica can't do it. They put the shot up, but they miss, and it's going to be a Renegade basketball. I can't get over Jordan Starling, the 5'10 freshman guard for Santa Monica. He's a hoot and a half. And Nick Velasquez, 6'3 sophomore, preparing to inbound the basketball. Dixon with it, kicks it back to him. And Jameek Riviere is he's okay with shearing some seconds and minutes off of this clock here.
Got a hand check.
Jeff, what is a hand check?
That means you have your hand or your arm and you restrict the movement of the player. Whether he's moving for a pass or has the ball moving toward the basket, and that's the 9th team foul in Santa Monica. So Rivera will be shooting 1-1, but from every foul from here on in, Bakersfield will be in the double bonus. So for a team that only had 2 free throw attempts in the first half, the fouls now will make it even that much more difficult for Santa Monica to rally, because Bakersfield's a pretty good free throw shooting team. $27-point lead. That ties the largest lead of the game. It's 67-40. Whereas Francis is working on his computer. Hope it's not a porn site.
Jeff Evans, get out of here. I'll tell you what was pornographic. It's Baker making a three-pointer at this late juncture in the game. Renegades anxious to tamp out any glimmer of hope there. Jeff Evans, the stuff this guy digs up. Well, that's why they call him Scoop, I'll tell you that much. Velasquez with the ball, our own three-point threat, and he pulls one out, and
that's a three. They counted that as a three.
And he'll take it. And that was 6 feet in front of the arc there. 70-43, the Renegades. Jeff, I can't even do that math. We're up by 27 right now in the Gil Bishop Sports Center.
That's pretty good math.
Thank you. Not bad for an old hillbilly from Humboldt County. Most of these teeth are mine too, Jeff. Actually, they're all mine. I paid for all of them.
Hey, you got to be able to count up there. It rains so much. You got to be able to keep track of the inches of rainfall. They get up in Humboldt County.
That's what we're counting in Humboldt County. Inches of rain. Right.
Actually, it's a beautiful. That's one of the most beautiful parts of the state. In all seriousness, some of my favorite state park in the state is up in that area, and I tell you what, it's a beautiful area.
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's where they shot Return of the Jedi. And Jeff, speaking, of course, of, there's like Redwood State Park. There's a couple of them up there, and they're very beautiful. And it's an area rich with natural resources.
And Louis Amestroy noting that there's quite a bit of pot smoking in that area, too.
Pot. I think it's cannabis is what we call it.
Not that we're trying to paint the Humboldt County and what hopes to be the state of Jefferson. If you talk to those people, they want to be able to.
Oh, jeez. What a wild turn things have taken here in the Gil Bishop Sports Center. Renegades holding on to a 25-point lead. It is 70-45 with 6 minutes to go in the contest. I'm Francis Mayer, Sports Information Director for the Bakersfield College Renegades. And my accomplice is Jeff Evans. And Nick Velasquez almost had another three-pointer right there. But again, Jeff, as we've said, he is not really having the range that he usually has. And that's those green shoes. That's what's holding back Ricky Bryan. He drove there and he ran into a wall. But the offensive rebound by Brandon Crawford, one of the world's most common sports names. That falls, and they cut into that 25-point lead. The Renegades still up by 23, 70-47 with 5.5 to go here in the game.
Well, it's definitely not the San Francisco Giants shortstop, I can tell you that.
No, although I'm pleased with how his career has come along.
Well, he won a Gold Glover this year. And
he did, but
he hit over 20 home runs. It was pretty good.
But when he first came up, I don't think we predicted that he was going to hit 20 home runs.
No.
Ricky Bryant with a basketball for Santa Monica. And then a huge, an ultra long distance three-pointer by Brandon Baker. I'm not even sorry he missed that, doggone it. That thing was, it was almost at half court.
Well, Nicholas Smiley got kind of caught trying to charge for the offensive rebound, and there was a Renegade in front of him, so he just simply shoved him out of bounds, and the referees, two of them are looking right at him, so that's the foul. That's I believe that's his fourth foul. They only have 3 up on the board, but that is a 10th team foul, so free throw time for DeQuan Green. He gets a couple of freebies here. 5:04 to go, so we're the Renegades kind of coasting along now.
Cruise control. That's what we like to call cruise control.
Well, it was 31-25 at halftime. Right. Now it's 71-47 to give you an idea of how hot the Renegades have been this half.
That's right. And then we've got some guys like DeQuan Green and C.J. Johnson getting some minutes right now in this game. And Baker is not going to get any love. They tell him just to forget about it. No.
That basket counts. Brandon Baker scored and has a free throw. Got to put DeAndre Dixon back in the game. Gets another rebound, pads his total.
Jameek Riviere firing the ball down court to DeQuan Green. Green kicks it inside to DeAndre Dixon, who does what he likes to do.
No look pass. That was a very nice pass there.
Super clean. Again, just more evidence of how outside. And, a totally unfriendly. Ooh, C.J. Johnson. He says, give me that basketball. It's a jump ball, and the possession arrow is going to work against the Renegades, but that's all right. Gives James Pendleton a chance to come in the game, and he is going to spill Lawrence Bam Moore, who's having a pretty darn good night.
Well, he struggled in the first half, but, boy, he's really kind of triggered that outburst that really gave the Renegades a lot of separation. Hit 2 or 3 threes and a couple of fast break layups and fast break dunk, and just I tell you what, I think Lawrence Moore really is the one who really was the catalyst behind that outburst early in the second half.
No, I think you're right. And this game is turning into one of those rote exercises that leaves me wondering about things I can do in my spare time, like learn knot tying, Jeff Evans.
Knot tying?
Yeah, I've got the cord of my headphones here. I'm working on a sheet bend and 2 half hitches. Meanwhile, the Renegades holding on to a 23-point lead in the Gill Bishop Sports Center with just 4 minutes and 27 seconds to go as they play one of the better teams in the Western State Conference South. Santa Monica, of course, theirs, but I'll tell you what, they have a habit of making pretty much everybody look pedestrian this season. The Renegades might be that team. Now, that's kind of what I'm meaning.
No hurry on the Renegades side. They've got a 22-point lead, so nice shot by Jameek there.
By the way, I know Sandy Taylor, athletic director of Bakersfield College, is watching the game tonight, probably along with President Sonia Christian. I'll tell you what, we call her the first fan because she will call you during out-of-town games. That is if she's not traveling with the team, and she'll want to know just how we're doing. Not uncommon for the press. Now, she wants to know how all of our teams are doing. She shot me a text earlier, wanted to know how tennis did. And the women's tennis team, after losing a lot of matches last season, they beat COS tonight 5-4, which is a huge victory for them. DeAndre Dixon moving down the court. And we're anxious to see what his rebound total is for the night. Speculation is it's pretty darn good. Jeff, I'm going to put it at blackjack. I'm calling 21.
I think it's more.
I think it's more too, but DeAndre, wham, bam, send it home to Sam. DeAndre Dixon, woo-wee.
What a pass. That was a brilliant pass.
It was. The whole thing was brilliant, just electrifying from top to bottom. And the Renegades taking a commanding 77-54 lead with less than 3 minutes to go in this game. And these doggone Renegades, Jeff, I know Steve Lynch, head statistician of Renegade Athletics, told me that they tend to win by 25 points here in the Gil Bishop Sports Center. If seeing people with Bakersfield across their chests winning contests turns your crank, then you've got to get out to BC. CJ Johnson head into the line for his two. Renegade Baseball starts their season Thursday night at 7 p.m. against Feather River. Jerry Collins Field in the Dean and Ada Gay Sports Complex. CJ fails to make his first free throw. And then, of course, BC Softball starts their season Thursday at 3 p.m. against Fresno City College.
And then another one is against Sierra right after that. Doubleheader for the softball program.
Twice as nice. Yeah, if you like diamond sports, you just need to come hang out with us tomorrow afternoon, and we will knock your socks off.
Renegades, of course, have another 7 o'clock game against Barstow on Friday night, and then a 1 o'clock Saturday game against Hancock. So there's a lot of action on the diamond this weekend between baseball and softball at Bakersfield College.
Well, yes, there is. And then Saturday, of course, we got more basketball. So just a lot of stuff going on up here on the hill. And we invite you up here to enjoy all of it with us. I mean, we love to share our sports with you. And Santa Barbara, at this point, 22 points in 3 minutes. That would be some kind of record, wouldn't it, Jeff Evans?
Yeah, I think it's fairly safe to say there's no such thing as a 10-point shot or anything. So this, the only question here is where will the Renegades wind? The mid-80s in scoring, which again that surpasses their average if they do that. They're almost right there now. Again, Santa Monica only averages defensively only allowing 69 points a game, and the Renegades blew right by that a few minutes ago. So. Again, for a team that only had 31 at halftime, that really says a lot about how the Renegades have played here in the second half. That was a nice defensive play there. Yep. And just as
well, I've gotten a couple of messages just now with people asking me if the score is wrong, and no, it's not. The Renegades are up 77-56. 21-point lead over Santa Monica City, and they are one of the best teams in the Western State Conference South, which is one of the toughest divisions in the state. But that just speaks to the depth, the strength, the dominance of this Renegade basketball team. James Pendleton, the sixth man, the microwave of this team, he's out on the court right now. So is DeAndre Dixon, who has north of 20 rebounds in this game. Bam, pulling up for three. Ooh, rare air ball there, Santa Monica ball. They're going to move down the court. A drive, and that layup is going to be good. Dathan Carter getting 2 points for Santa Monica, the Corsairs. And these Renegades, Jeff Evans, I'll tell you what. You told me to savor it, and I'm going to. We've had some tough seasons this year in our department. The volleyball team made it to the playoffs. Football struggled. But this men's basketball team is just doing special things. I don't know how else to put it.
What a pass that was.
Pendleton buying time in midair like an astronaut. 79-58. The Renegades just smoking.
Talk about threading the needle on that
Look
pass.
at that. No, boy, number 4 looks up at DeAndre Dixon and says, forget it.
That pass, though, it was a thread the needle. Like,
Pendleton, again, he can't be stopped. You know what you do with a Pendleton? Jeff Evans, you button it up.
I think it might
old,
be.
That's old guy humor. 81-58 Renegades.
Bakersfield College timeout might be in there to maybe try to get, some other players into the game. Maybe it's only 1:25 to go, and the Renegades are up 81-58. Just an unbelievable second half.
No, it is, and that's
a 50-point Renegade second half thus far. That's just amazing.
Well, Jeff, and the Renegades this season have scored points by accident, doggone it. We have a really neat guy on our team, Arthur Tondon. the thrill from Brazil. Really nice young man, very proud to be from Brazil and to be here in the United States playing basketball. But they were killing time on that win over West LA, and they kicked it out to Tondon, and whether it was a lack of him understanding that we don't run the score up on other people, but he hit an accidental three-pointer as time expired. And Coach Hughes is walking across the scores table looking at West LA's coach, and Coach Hughes gets on really well with all the coaches in the state, and he was like, I'm sorry. The guy's from Brazil. He didn't know. But Coach Hughes not one to run the score up, but in this game and with this level of talent, it's kind of hard not to score a lot of points.
Well, you got a brand new 5 out there for the Gades.
Oh, yeah, there is Arthur Tondon, number 34 of the throw from Brazil. He's out there on the court.
Well, I think he had 1 point the whole year before then, so, I mean,
what's the harm in that? Trayvon Armstrong getting some minutes, number 10. And then Sean LaFleur, the freshman, the 6'5 wing, he's out there. And Broussard, of course, and then Sky C rounds out the 5. But this is about as much of a victory formation as the Renegades will show you. But that counts. Tondon tagged out, and Jameek Riviere's coming back in the game. It looks like there's a coaching opportunity for Coach Hughes. He's explaining something to the thrill. And rebound Renegades, and they're going to do everything they can to wear the minutes off the clock here. But an errant pass like that one, even Sky C couldn't jump up, and he's all legs, but he could not make that one come down in his possession, as it were.
Yeah, no, the Brazilian flash comes right back in now that he gets a chance to, got the coaching instruction, and now Riviere off the floor. Towns is also in the ball game.
Dathan Towns in there, the BCHS product. Always like to get your young person in. And, ooh. Dathan Towns. He's had an alley-oop dunk this season. This is a high-flying Renegades team that does a lot of fun things. And LaFleur frustrated right there. Pardon me, Trayvon Armstrong frustrated right there. A first free throw attempt did not fall. We'll see if the second one can. Armstrong not getting it to sink, but Dathan Towns right up there fighting for the rebound. He overcame an illness in camp, and he's a slender guy. He didn't have the weight to lose. But I know his illness made it hard for him to keep food down for a little bit, but he's doing much, much better now. And boy, is he a hard worker. Coach Hughes has nothing but good things to say about that young man.
Nobody can make a free throw, and they keep getting offensive boards.
No, but Sky C is down there just, and that frame of his, he's stretched out like a spider, doing everything he can to get to the basketball. Santa Monica leaving in their short yardage set there, number 24, still in the game. And he's going to try to put a tray up, and it's no good. Jeff, I tell you, I think we need to give credit to these guys that are on the court for BC right now. They are not playing like they have the lead that they have. They're playing with a lot of guts. J.C. Broussard losing the handle, but he kicks it out to Armstrong. Armstrong is going to drive to the middle, and Dathan Towns kicks out to Sky C, who puts up a tray, and it's not going to fall. And his teammates, C.J. Johnson especially, and then Bam Moore, they're falling apart over there.
Well, this game's over here just momentarily.
And as my grandma used to say, it's all over but for the shout. And the Renegades lead 81-63 in this game. And
9 seconds remain.
Tondon passes the ball to Armstrong. Armstrong is going to kill time. Santa Monica with the double team on. They're proud, but Sky C holds on to it, and that is a Renegade win. Yet another thrill in the gill. The Renegades pull down an 81-63 win after having a relatively slow start. James Pendleton there, he tried to put a dunk down for the cameraman on the sideline there, and maybe no hard feelings, I guess. But that's one of those things you don't want to do in the sports world to avoid jinxing things. I know Jeff Evans has jumping on Twitter real quick to record the win. And Steve Lynch, how many rebounds did DeAndre have? Oh, Jeff Evans, we should have made a bet. I believe that it was a 21-point victory for the Renegades. We're waiting to get statistics. Handshakes are being exchanged.